Hey folks, welcome back to TIMBERBORN, and today we start building the cavernous colony, cave colony. I don't know what to call it, but that's what we're going to start doing. So we'll get the game running anyway. I had a really good suggestion. I don't know why I didn't think it. I think, well, I do know why, because my mind works in quite a linear way, because that's how my brain is. If you know, you know, and you'll understand. So what we are going to do is, before we get to tunneling that, we are going to tunnel out under the water pumps, because that's a brilliant way of expanding the reservoir and replacing the support under the we can even do it under the staircase as well. Why not, eh? Without having to demolish it. I love it. It's brilliant. Yeah. With how my brain is, I don't always embrace the new technology completely from the start. So, didn't think of that at all. I would really, really like to get a tubeway over to the farm. And I think we're going to look at doing that before we do this next bit. And I think what we can do is probably delete that now, because I know we're placing tunnels under here, but not super urgent. We could probably even deprioritize it. And what we're going to do is put that there, put that there. Then we are going to delete that. That will allow us to then delete that. I forgot to install the tunnel tube mod, but we don't need it in this situation. We can come over here. I haven't even got that done yet. We're going to end up stacking up so much building, and that is absolutely fine. We're going to come over here. We're going to come across here. Where are we going to jump out of the tunnel? I think what we do is we come to there then, and we replace that with ladders, and we put the tunnel right at the end. So let's speed stuff up. I'm going to prioritize doing those things. It's funny how, it's not really funny maybe, but in my brain it's a little bit, let's say, strange how the pronunciation of words gets corrupted by popular culture. I think that's a good explanation. It's not necessarily popular culture in this case. I don't know if I've mentioned it on these videos. I have on others, I know. Watching a YouTube channel called Grok TV, and he does automation and BeamNG content, not really very related to TIMBERBORN content at all. So I'm just checking I've got OBS set up correctly, because I have. And the reason that I mentioned it is because I was talking about speed, and because he is, let's say, inspired by a well-known motoring channel with some of the way he says things, and he quite often says the speed. And because I watch a lot of his content, it does sometimes percolate through into the way that I am tempted to say things. Yeah, I just find it weird how, I guess, how language becomes altered by your by the things you consume. Let's put it that way. And I guess the things you interact with, and to some extent the people you interact with as well, because I know I went to university in Wales, and over time I picked up some kind of Welsh, not really Welsh phrases, but phrases spoken by Welsh people in English. That's probably the best way to explain that really badly. Right, we're going to let them work on that. I'm going to deprioritize all of that. Because we want them to work on the fun stuff. Do we have issues here with access to things? We possibly do. We possibly do. We could maybe help them with that. With some... This is a technical term, by the way. If you're not familiar with technical terms, don't worry. Some ladderage. Ladderage is a certified technical term. I am an engineer. So, yep. Definitely a real technical term. Ladderage. You may not be familiar with it. Don't worry. Right. You can be paused now. And, yep, so the coffee will hopefully spread as it grows. And we are going to now come over here and begin the process. And very simply, initially, so I've got an idea in my head that I want to do this in what to me is a logical process. So we're going to make our way in a little bit. And what I basically want to do is kind of try and throw down a marker for the back. I want this to be big. I want this to be really big. I wonder if we go down once we're in. So if we were at this level, so we are on level 7, and then we would go up to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So really so we've only got 3 levels really. So I think that we probably do want to go down, so we could go down, well, 7 levels. So I think we're going to do some downwardness. And I think potentially makes sense. Do that with platforms. So my thinking. I'm trying to approach this, as I said, in a logical way. This is going to be a big project. It's going to be a big project. I think what we do, so we have a maximum span of 3, but because this is supported, it doesn't matter. So we can make this as long as we want and then delete it all. And that's going to be fine. Who's got now to do in range? You. So you were scrap metaling. Okay. All right. You can go away. You go, sir. We need to keep an eye on our metal supply. We will put another scrap metal collector here. You take that out. That's a problem. Someone miscalculated. No one corrected me on that. Amazing. Slightly worried. You're all slacking. Disappointed. Not angry with you, just disappointed. Yeah, anyway, lots of gas bagging. Lots of gas bagging. What we're going to do is run a straight line in single fashion. Out to so we were looking at probably somewhere here-ish. But we can always backfill that little bit there that drops in. So that is our starter for 10. And then what we'll do is we'll go down, and I want to go up, dog drink, and basically establish the back wall of the cavern, and then we'll extend it this way. But what I want to do, and I don't know if it's really necessary straight away, but I'm going to put one in as a, let's say, good engineering practice. I want to put in the first roof truss. So yeah, that's the plan. They seem to be making pretty good progress. And we're going to let them do the line. And I guess we could start putting in the level above, which going to be no higher than that. Oh, that's going to be our maximum height. We go down there. I think if we maybe start about there, and as with all of these projects, I'm kind of winging it. So yeah, no prior planning was done to prevent the other P. No, you know, and if you don't know, I'm not going to say what kind of performance we will end up with, but it's not very good. Let's go with that, because without prior planning, you get a something performance. Right, let's delete you and delete you. Now, if I go up another level, I think actually we might be okay to go one more. So let's give her a try. And you can always delete stuff at this point, but I think we're okay. I don't think I want to go any higher than that. So let's get some more path in. And then we're also going to go down. Song lyric in that. Many song lyrics in that. I'm probably thinking of a different song lyric to the one you're thinking of. There are so many that have just jumped into my head. My head is so chaotic. All right. There. There. Perfect. Let's go down again to there and there. There. And we'll lock that up. And then let's repeat that. And come up there. And let's go down there. And we'll repeat that. And that takes us from level 4 all the way up to level 10. We have a slight issue there, but we can always add another terrain block. So that gives us 6 levels, which I think is a pretty nice cavern for our colony. Let's extend the path a little further. At the very top. Yeah, it is. So what actually might be useful is to take advantage of that and rely on the fact that we are going to have to fill that in up here, and drop in from above. So we'll have a look at that, and then I'm kind of hoping that we can make this pretty big. So it's going to take a lot of time, and what I'm going to do is hopefully get it set up in such a way that I can place enough structure that they can then just do loads of building. That's my hope. All right, so that's all in. Obviously, we can't delete that because it's supporting the water pumps, but we've opened up all of that potential space. All right, they've got that built, so we need to, and now would be a good time because it appears to be night. In fact, we can just do that, throw that there, make that our high priority, and they should be able to then tunnel to the farm, and it'd probably be sensible then to try and get a tubeway station in at the housing, but you know, little by little we'll get there. Throwing all of the song lyrics in today. Again, you might not know the song that I'm quoting, so don't worry if you don't. Has the game crashed? The game has not crashed. We're just in the night time. We need to get back to some time lapses at some point so that we can start throwing some cool music in again. Let's keep an eye on them getting this built. There we go. One more plank, and bosh, that's reconnected. Now they don't have to use the tubeway obviously because they can come up and through here, but they are, which is awesome. So back to the building project, and they've done that. So what we can do then is delete that guy, throw in an ladder like so, and that should allow them to come in from the top and place basically everything, because you can throw infinitely down if you're a beaver. I mean, they're going to be working on a bunch of this anyway, but yeah, that just make the process much easier. So we are low on planks. We are good for logs. So that says to me two things. Make sure that your plank production is working, because I haven't been keeping an eye on that, and also expand your plank production. Now, we have kind of painted ourselves into a bit of a corner here with the industrial area, but we also left a little bit of an opening. So what we'll do is we could actually really delete those, use the two lumber mills that I'm going to place to make the connections, and then come across here, go around that. It's a little bit messy, but hey, there's always a benefit in triggering that person who gets annoyed by bendy things. Pain. Tanks, supply. Going to be an automate products. You're going to be an automate products and a suspend if power. Excellent. That'll hopefully help because this is going to be very plank intensive. Start the process of throwing in a little bit of path just to help out. Yeah, they're just getting on and getting stuff done, which is very cool. And while they're doing that, is there anything else we need to keep an eye on? So we have coffee up now. So let's remove you and put in a gatherer flag, and we'll also put in a medium warehouse just there for coffee beans set to supply. Let's make sure that both of those get built. Hopefully these will start to spread. And we need an coffee brewery. Let's demolish you. Food, coffee, Bosch. Yes, please. Bridge, small warehouse, coffee beans, obtain, storage, agua, obtain, small storage, coffee, supply, and then over here we'll throw in just so a little coffee pot. Coffee obtained. Awesome. So we still have that problem that I mentioned about bad water. So let's address that. We're going to do that. We're going to put in a stream gauge. That's the word. It's been another very long day. They're all very long days at the moment, unfortunately. But, you know, la vie, as they say. Right, how are we looking over here? We are making progress, which is all we can ask for. I'm torn on how I should approach this. Part of me wants to do it bit by bit and do it slowly. Part of me wants to throw in a chunky time lapse at the end and make a load of progress. We'll see which version wins. Advanced, attached to stream gauge, Bosch, pause below. We're going to go for about 50% contamination. Yeah, that'll do. Unpause above. Number bigger than that. Awesome. I am thinking that we're going to go with the time lapse option for getting this done. They say that because One is bloody knackered. So yeah, we're going to go with what is the easy option. I feel, because I can do that on the morrow, or I edit to video. So we are going to lay the almightiest pile of explosives. We keep going down all the way to number 4. Okay. There. Yep. Awesome. Fill that in, and then we'll go back up the other way, and then we'll fill in the missing gaps. I know the TIMBERBORN mod lets me increase the drag size, but I'm quite happy with the 10 by 10. To be completely honest, routes over. Where's me marker piece gone? There we go. So there, 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 there. Yep, that works. All right. Now we color it all in little 10 by 10 blocks, which gives you an appreciation for how big it is when you think of it like that. So my intent for this, in terms of removal of structure and such, let me just quickly check. So that's all filled in, that's all filled in, none of that's filled in. Right, back to it. Is to essentially use platforms and overhangs to build a roof structure that will act as a support. That's something that I've sort of tested in a very loose sense of the word. So in that, I know it works and doesn't break anything. So I think that's about as good as you can hope for. So that's what we're going with. Yeah, the fatigue from a day at work and it being stupidly hot is really, really banging. So at the moment, this is the only time of day I get to do this. So yeah. We don't really have a huge amount of options. And without trying to whinge too much about the weather, it's completely screwing up my sleep pattern. So get this placed, shall we? So this is a lot of tunnel blocks, so it's going to take quite a while to get placed. I do think a time lapse is an efficient way of doing this. Right, so that's in, that's in, that's in, that's in, that's in, that's in, that's in. Awesome. So really what we want to do is prioritize this very top level of blocks. so that we can I'm not sure why the game runs so jankily in this save. I was playing my 1000 Beaver save on my laptop earlier, and running at triple speed with now 850 beavers, it was running perfectly fine with the same mod set. So yeah, I don't know. I have no clue as to why it behaves so differently in this save game, but it's kind of annoying. We are stripping out all of the berries now. The coffee has been picked. The coffee is being coffeed. So we've used all of the coffee beans already. Fair enough. Do we have 6 coffees left? That is not enough. Power-wise, we are doing just fine. Yep. Let's look to extend that. And I am just going to very quickly check something. Or not very quickly check something. Somewhat slowly check something. Oh, only been going half an hour. That feels wrong to stop. How's our planks? Not a lot better, to be honest. How's our efficiency of our new? We're 90%, so make sure that's prioritized. Make sure that's prioritized. Keep that efficiency up nice and high. Those are both pretty efficient as well. Let's pause that guy, because we don't really need that working. Let's pause that one as well. Maximize the plank production that's actually going towards positive plank edge. It's a thing. It's a thing. Trust me. Food-wise, we're looking pretty solid now, so I'm not worried about planting up that little bit. And we don't appear to have ever gotten... How is that too far? Gosh. Now they might actually do this. Yeah. I guess with this is where the tubeway tunnels would be beneficial. Because we could tunnel in the back here and put a tiny tubeway station. I mean, we could just prepare for that by doing this. Have and pass around the back there. I know it's more tunnels to build. I know. I guess that stopped because the contamination will have dropped significantly, and it's debatable on the validity of pumping bad water that's only 25% contaminated. Let's throw another pump over here. you're going to say, well, it's really quite debatable even bothering to go all that way, but these help a lot. How are we doing over here? They are almost all the way across this, which means then they'll be able to work all the way down. And as they get further into each of these, the more they open up, the more they'll be able to open up in the different directions. So yeah, you can see that it's instantly ripple detonated a bunch of stuff. So if we then came out from there, that'll let them do more and more and more. And you tell two friends, and they tell two friends, and they tell two friends. And if you don't get the reference, why are you here? You're too young. Right, that's pretty cool. I'm pleased with that. Let's head. Looks like we've got some spreading already. Awesome stuff. Those guys are doing a pretty good job of clearing that. That's been built. So now what we want to do is put that there. Put a lumberjack, plural of or singular of lumberjack. Is lumberjack already singular? Probably. Anyway, let's throw that there. Get some trees cut down. Yeah, can we? Frank, can we go in? Yeah. Yeah. That looks kind of weird. That's not, eh? Not until we've opened it up properly. Let's just do that, eh? Yeah. Yeah. That looks great. Good stuff. Well done, lads. To be fair, they're doing a pretty darn awesome job. So, yes. I think at this point, because I am really struggling, folks, I'm sorry. I'm going to do a possibly quite substantial time lapse to get this finished, or it will be a very fast time lapse. One or t'other. And then next time we can work on removing the planks and putting in the roof supports. So yeah, hope you have enjoyed this short video. The hot weather wrecks me. It really does. Happens every year, I'm afraid. Yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Stick around if you want to watch the time lapse. If you don't, that's fine. I will recap what we achieve in the next video. And yeah, I will see you next time.
To me, there's nothing freer than a bird, you know, just flying wherever it wants to go. And I don't know, that's what this country's all about, you know, being free. And I think everybody wants to be free.
If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? Yes, sir. For I must be traveling on now, 'cause there's too many places I've got to see. Stayed here with you, girl, things just couldn't be the same. 'Cause I'm as free as a bird now, yeah. And as bird you cannot change. It's been a sweet love, yeah, yeah. Though this feeling I can't change. Please don't take it so badly, 'cause Lord knows I'm to blame. If I stayed here with you now, things just couldn't